Hey everyone, it's Max. I'm here at the Walt Disney Family Museum. I have finally made it to the Walt Disney Family Museum here in San Francisco. It is so beautiful here. I could see why they chose this place to be the spot for the Walt Disney Family Museum. I am so excited. This is my first time, so come on in. Let me take you through this journey of Walt's life. Walt won a bunch of Academy Awards, huh? Just a few. Actually, he's won more than any other person ever. This collection right here is the largest collection of Oscars besides the actual Academy. It's pretty cool. This is a special award he got for Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, a special achievement award. Whoa. You guys know that above the firehouse, there's Walt's apartment at Disneyland. Well, here's some furniture. I wish I could sit in it. This case behind me shows many of the awards and certificates given to Walt from governments all across the world, like the Presidential Medal of Freedom. There it is. Presidential Medal of Freedom. Now I'm entering the gallery, and basically the way that this is set up is that they take you from his birth through his whole life. So it really goes in order. You can see all his ancestors. You can really get the sense of like the reason that this place is called the Walt Disney Family Museum, because you could tell that it's got his family. Like that's what this one's about. This is awesome. You can see how childhood impacted what Disneyland became, because so here's Marceline. Look at this. Does that look like Main Street or what? The family moved from Chicago to Marceline. Then they sold the farm. This is the deed that sold the farm. And then they went to Kansas City. In Kansas City is when he really discovered movies. And then he started to draw. Ooh, you have to hit a gold button to continue to the next gallery. Look at this, it says Santa Fe. Brilliant. Oh yeah. I love how they do this. It's like you're getting on the train. A suitcase and a dream, a suitcase and a dream. The Alice comedies were his first real successful film series. The Oswald Room and Mickey. We know what happened. Oswald, Walt loses him, signed this contract with Universal. Charles Mintz takes it from under him. Biggest disappointment of his life. Like, Walt's thinking, what do I do now? Well, I do this. So Walt was in New York when he lost Oswald, and he took the train back to California, and on that train he started thinking about a mouse character. And this right here actually is the earliest known drawing of Mickey. Let me give you a closer look. Now, it's not clear who drew this exactly. Could have been Walt, but it's the first one, the earliest known from 1928. So the first Mickey cartoons, Plain Crazy, and the second Gallopin' Gauchos were both silent, just like the Oswalds were, and he couldn't sell them because people didn't know who Mickey Mouse was. So he said, well, we're gonna do sound. Let's go after sound, he said. That direct quote, let's go after sound. And he sure did, and you know what happened? It hit. What's he talking about? Steamboat Willie. A full wall of animating Steamboat Willie. This wall is so cool. This is Steamboat Willie. Oh, we made it to the end of the wall. So cool. This was what Walt said here, and I love. Mickey Mouse to me is a symbol of independence. Oh, he was a means to an end. Popped out of my mind on a drawing pad 20 years ago on a train ride from Manhattan to Hollywood at a time when the business fortunes of my brother Roy and myself were at the lowest ebb, and disaster seemed right around the corner. Isn't that incredible? And this is what I love about Walt and his story, is that this epic failure, this disaster, I just lost, my Oswald, my creation, and it is gone. What do? I make the most iconic character in the history of the world. We got some Fab 5 early sketches right here. You can see the beginnings of Mickey, Minnie, Donald, Goofy, Pluto. This next room is the big move to feature film Snow White. It just became next level crazy. Premiere at Carthay Circle. We've heard about this so many times. It's just, what must it have been like to be alive at that time? This is a flow chart that was at the Burbank studio that showed the creative flow in producing a Disney film. I can't, this... Walt. So, of course, I just mentioned the Burbank studio, and the Hyperion studio was very small, and they had grown so much, so they get to move into this brand new big studio in Burbank. And it is so wonderful. If you've seen my video there, you know how wonderful it is. And seeing all this, you get to see the groundwork from how it all started and how this all happened. It's just so amazing. Fantasia was so incredible because it just opened up the possibilities, the grand orchestra. It went beyond anything anyone had ever done at the time, which is what Walt did. Amazingly, things like Fantasia and Pinocchio suffered epic financial losses because they were just too big. And so then Walt made something simpler called Dumbo, Cinderella, and then Alice, and some Lady and the Tramp, and how about some Peter Pan? It's just one after another of all the movies that I've watched, like, thousands of times in that short span. Incredible. This room shows off some of Walt's own collectibles. Oh, these are his favorite foods. Jell-O and chili. I'm gonna start eating that. Okay, as the Disney food guy, I feel like I really need to know all of this. This is Walt's favorites. Now, he's got things on here like Spam and eggs with biscuits and honey, oyster stew. Really, as the Disney food guy, I feel it is my responsibility to probably eat everything that is on this menu here, on these two menus. This was for his housekeeper, actually. He had to write down his favorite things so that his housekeeper, Thelma Howard, would know, I guess. What do I feed you? The Spam and eggs with biscuits and honey and the oyster stew, you know what, I'll eat anything. Walt says I should go eat that, okay. I think it is my duty to try this one day. Would that be a fun video? Oh, by the way, this museum has one of the best views that you will get of the Golden Gate Bridge in this entire city, so check this out. See it back there? Oh, I've just entered. Let me just show you from above what I just entered, and we'll get a closer look in a bit. Well, this room gets you into Disneyland, of course, and it starts right here. I have always loved trains. Walt. The Disneyland proposal. The map. This is when Herb Ryman drew this map with Walt Disney at his side. Here he is. This says original model of Fantasyland Castle. Oh man, this is so cool, guys. Wow. Wow. So this map doesn't represent Disneyland on opening day or at any specific time, actually. Let me read what it says. This elaborate Disneyland model does not document the park as it actually exists at an opening day nor at any time afterward. Instead, it represents Walt's ever-changing vision of Disneyland as a dynamic location for fantasy, hope, and aspiration. And you can see they've just put so many things here that have been built over the years and that are not there anymore. And let me just show you. It's incredible. Hey, Autopia car. Well, I could stare at that model all day. I mean, honestly. Wow, wow, wow. Well, this takes us into now TV. And we know Walt had such an instrumental part in making TV what it was. And here's the Mickey Mouse Club. Here's the mouse guitar. M-I-C-K-Y-M-O-U-S-E. Here's Old Yeller now. We've finished up the Disneyland portion of it. This really does take you through year by year of his life. Here's Mary Poppins. I wonder what Walt would say right now with Mary Poppins returning again. And then of course the World's Fair, which was the debut for the Lincoln animatronic, which of course then changed theme park history forever.
We audio animatronic characters are ready to put on a show anytime. In the tiki 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 room. In the tiki 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 room.
Carousel of Progress model. Wow. It's a great big beautiful tomorrow. The Florida Project and Epcot. Of course, this ends with his final days, and this is just a reflection from his daughter about the final days of his life and what that was like. This picture is just so poignant. At the end of the exhibit here, you get that. Thanks, Walt. The news of his death. Look at Mickey. This art is incredible. Just art that was made after Walt's death. Let me show you. This room is incredible. Each screen is showing different scenes of Walt's life and the many things that he gave us. Thanks for making this world a better place, Walt. Really. Ooh, I'm all emotional now. Okay, well, I'm going to head into the gift shop now and then look at merch, collect yourself. Look at merch, and then I'll be back to do a little sign off. Well, I had to get lunch, and you know what they have here? Walt's chili. I can't believe it, look. I had to include some eating in this video, right guys? I mean, this is what I do. Let's see how Walt's chili is. That's so good. Especially here in San Francisco, where it's colder. I'm not used to these temperatures. Well, that was incredible. If you are a Disney fan and you love Disney history, you gotta come here. I mean, like seriously, you have to come here. Because it shows you from birth to his final days what this man did for the world. I mean, and it's done so well. It really is. You can see the heart that went into making this place, and that's what's so special about it. So get up here to San Francisco in the Presidio and go to the Walt Disney Family Museum. You will love it, guys. You really will. I am off for now, but let me know in the comments below if you've ever been to the Walt Disney Family Museum. And if you haven't, what was the coolest thing you saw in my video today? Let me know, like, subscribe, check out my Patreon page, and have a magical day, everybody. Bye.